Howdy, y'all. The first chapter of my fantasy novel, Guardian of Innocence, is now available for free. Click the link in the description below and join me in an old-school good versus evil story where Cole Lares, a disillusioned mercenary, suddenly finds himself dropped into the middle of a destiny he never asked for as the protector of Jania Sarine, a blacksmith's daughter who may hold the answers to finally stopping a millennia-old threat to the world of Rosetta. Cole's perceptions of love, family, trust, loyalty, as well as his very beliefs in fate versus free will shall be tested as he struggles to keep Jania safe from the minions of the dreaded Zabor Tal, former champion of the gods and now ruler of the long-forgotten Yis Empire. Click the link below, enjoy the first chapter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and help it grow so that I can bring you the full story in the near future. Thank you, and enjoy the video. You know what isn't profitable? Woke television. Woke television is, and I'm going to say it, it's a cancer. I mean, is that a good word to use? It's a cancer?
That pretty much fits for most of it.
Works for me.
I avoid it like cancer.
Because these SJWs who get put into it, they stuff it full of agenda. And it gets corrupted, perverted, destroyed.
Oh no.
I assume you guys have all seen the teaser trailer by now. We can't play because I did get copyright claimed when I played it on my my Wednesday stream, Natural 20.
I did see the video. Okay, so you show a whole bunch of fancy special effects, but don't show any people. Really? Really? Really?
Yeah. They gave a crummy little synopsis. I don't know if this article here about any of the comics have it. I think it was a CBR article I had. Yeah, here it is. Well, sort of part of it. They basically tell you nothing of what's going on in this. And my biggest argument when I saw this week was they had a massively missed opportunity to show some faith that it's going to be something good, that it's going to respect the lore. It's called The Rings of Power. All right, how much about Lord of the Rings lore do you guys know? Because I'm base level, like very, very minimal for me, but I know enough.
I watched the movies a couple of times. That's about it. I just thought they were good movies.
I watched the Fellowship of the Rings trilogy, and I'm actually one of the few who watched the Rankin Bass version of Return of the King.
That's old. I remember it. Those songs are earworms that hurt your brain. The wearer of the ring is the bearer of the ring. But all right, I'm base level. I know the movies. I've read up on everything. I've read up on the histories. I've played a couple of games, the Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War series, which are not canonically accurate, but they are canonically accurate for one thing. The forger of the rings, not the one ring, but the other rings. Celebrimbor, an elf. You're calling this the Rings of Power. You had a massive opportunity to appease worried Lord of the Rings fans and say the Rings of Power will initially star the character Celebrimbor, the elf that forged the rings, the elf that Sauron tricked into forging the rings. Not a peep of that. Not a peep. And it tells me that, again, they're not caring. Because what have we heard about this show? What have we heard?
I've heard almost nothing. It's almost like they're trying to hide it. Other
I've heard
than we're
Jack
going to
Swat.
have.
This is all we've heard. Let me punch it in right here. Come on, go. This is what we've heard. We've heard about changes to the possible lore. We've had this teaser video. We've heard about race swapping. Change it to the hobbits, I mean black hobbits, diversity, inclusion hobbits. This is what they care about.
Leslie Jones will play Bilbo.
Yeah, inserting agenda, putting
Okay.
agenda into it.
Okay. Let me say this. I see nothing wrong with race swapping if it works for the characters. But if you're just doing diversity for the sake of diversity, then yeah, you got a problem there.
You see, to me, there is never an excuse for race swapping as far as I'm concerned, because it is the doorway through which the SJWs walk in. I've said that before. I'm going to say it again. When you race swap something, they're doing it for the sole purpose to change the lore and to set the stage, set the path to change things farther, because we all know you race swapping. Everybody is a coward in entertainment, and they will not say, oh, you can't do that because they're actually white. They're not black, because then they won't. They if they do that, the SJWs are going to scream racist, bigot, hate monger. They're going to scream at them. They're going to try and cancel them, call them all sorts of horrible names like that. Everybody's a coward. That is why they do it. That is what race swapping is. That is the stage it sets. We've seen it a lot. We've seen it every time. When I made my first Lord of the Rings, real-time video about the race swaps, I was attacked and called those very things because I challenged it. And I said, it's not right. It's not how it is in the book. They wanted me to bend the knee and not and say I was sorry. So that's race swapping. There is no excuse for it as far as I'm concerned. I don't like it. I don't want it. Sometimes somebody pulls it off, and I will say when they do, but it shouldn't happen in the first place, because the original creators, if they'd wanted it that way, they would have made it that way. And all they care about with this stuff is their agenda. It's all about getting their agenda done. And in Wheel of Time
Oh, no.
was the canary in the coal mine. They used that term the other day when I was watching Friday Night Tights. I was screaming it for months. I screamed it once. I got shouted down. I came back right before it started, before everybody else. And I'm going to say this. I said it before anybody who might have sat on the fence decided to say it. I said it from the beginning. There was going to be a problem, and I was attacked for it. I got no problem tooting my own horn. This was there. The warning signs were there, just like this is a warning sign for Lord of the Rings. The same people are involved. Actually, worse people are involved. Jar Jar Abrams people are involved with Lord of the Rings. You think Rafe Judkins is bad? Bad robot people are worse. We already know what their track record is when it comes to destroying, altering, changing. So, Wheel of Time set the stage for this. I mean, am I wrong?
Wheel of Time just tells you exactly what's getting ready to happen.
Get woke, go broke.
It's not going to end well, because all they care about is agenda. Wheel of Time was made for agenda. It wasn't made for fans. It was made for agenda. It was made to appease those who love agenda. Mole Nose right here, Duhface right here. They were put in for agenda. They don't own the roles. She's not even pretty. Yeah, fight me on that. She ain't pretty. Her mole is prettier than she is. That's saying something. This nothing character. I mean, let's look at this real quick. Dragon Reborn's identity remains clear. 10 of 10 is supposed to be 5. Oh, 5 and 5. No, whatever. So this is where that's retarded. The same. Maureen comes. No, actually, it's not the same, because she comes there in the wrong way, and the events are played out differently. Change. Perrin is black. Perrin is married, and he's not a friend. He's not anything. Perrin isn't anything. What do we know about this? They're changing. Let's look now. Let's jump up here. They're changing things. Hobbits are all changed. Hobbits didn't exist in the Second Age the way they exist in this. Not there. They might be changing rumors. They might be changing Isildur's family line, the line of kings, having a sister. No mention of Celebrimbor. Galadriel, I've heard it mentioned that Galadriel exists, but she is not a part of the events that they're talking about playing with. Wheel of Time is the roadmap for all these problems that are going to happen. Am I wrong? Am I seeing this in maybe a nerd rage cloud? Am I? Or do you guys see this too?
With the way these Wokies are, I've learned never underestimate how insane they can be.
Yeah, if you want to predict the stuff, think of the most insane, stupidest thing that they can do, and there's your prediction. That's what's going to happen.
Let's keep going down this list because there's plenty of things on that list like this. Randy Egwene, bumping uglies. We just wanted our CW show, guys. There you go. The same. No, not the same. They say that's the same. They didn't really have feelings for each other. It was puppy love. It was our whole village expects us to end up together. So, of course, we have sort of puppy love feelings for each other. In this thing, they're banging like horny school kids. It's not the same. That just shows you, again, the shills. That goes back to the old argument. The shills don't even know what they're talking about. 2 locations switching the show. Go. We're going to change locations. Do you think they're going to screw with Numenor? Do you think they're going to screw with all the locations in the Second Age? Maybe to get exactly what they want on the screen. I don't see how they're not going to do that. Let's keep going here. Well, Matt finds the Kurth dagger. How about everything about? Do they even say the same? No. Look how lame that is. They say same for Matt. Everything about Matt was changed. So again, they might change everything. I'm using because she's there. Kate Blanchett, hot. They might change everything about Galadriel just to fit the story they want to tell. Like they changed everything about Matt to fit the story and agenda they wanted to tell. Could change everything about Tom, same kind of category. No, their side quest didn't remotely be the same. It was not at all the same. The only thing that was the same is, we ended up with the Tinkers, and then we got picked up by White Cloaks eventually. That, if you call that mostly the same, then you didn't read the book. And now here's the thing, though. The same when it comes to Lord of the Rings. I mean, you guys, we're all about the same level here. We didn't read all the books, but the Silmarillion is it's a history book. It's a history book. And it's just there is no story there. It's just events. So they're going to be creating stories to shape the events the way they want them. Change their epic conclusion. Sentient Arrival was never done on screen. It happened way off camera. By the time we saw them, their invasion was in full swing. So that's complete horseshit. And they visibly changed everything about the Sentient when you see them arrive. So you look at Lord of the Rings, you look at Wheel of Time by comparison. That's why I chose this list, because you can compare it to these stories you see here on Bounding into Comics revolving around it. Everything. Okay, this is old Wheel of Time, old Lord of the Rings stuff. That's also, but you can see all these stories here. It's reflected there. It's all reflected. The mirror of what they did with Wheel of Time. It's all right there. It's going to happen again. Problem is, Lord of the Rings is a far bigger franchise, has a far bigger foothold in the world than Wheel of Time does. I mean, that we have to be honest about that, right? I mean,
yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be one heck of an explosion if they mess it up.
Yeah, I mean, look at The Hobbit. The Hobbit. I personally enjoy the Hobbit movies because I'm not as hardcore. I understand the changes, and I don't like the changes. I don't like the romance insertion. I'm not a fan of that, and other certain things there. But I do like them. I do enjoy them because they're also I find them also well acted, and I like everybody in there. And it's still the same general story because Peter Jackson still had love and reverence for it all. But
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. So I like The Hobbit, and we love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But that's what people know, and people still accept that as the standard, as what you're going to measure it up against. Amazon has already proven on multiple occasions it can't really do a show well. They have no idea how to run their shows. They have no idea how to spend their money properly. They hire the wrong people. Their promotion is always terrible. They don't. The shills are pathetic, and there's no expectation that they're going to get this right on Lord of the Rings. All evidence says otherwise. And one last time, let's take a look. Wheel of Time sitting at 64. So let's give one more refresh. Yeah, all right, sitting at 64. Getting close to that popcorn bin overturning though, real close. Although it's pretty much out of the limelight now. It's going to take a season 2, I think, for that thing to stink, to officially stink. Thanks for watching, everyone. I don't do Facebook. I will never do Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, email me at therennerd@gmail.com. I'm on Getter now, at therennerd, the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can also follow me on Odyssey at the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.